And welcome one and all to the July Planet Poetry 28. This event going on in its third year, which kind of started because I was so in. I found the share file screen, the share screen when poets were reading so helpful, and I just thought that we could maybe put together an event where everybody shares, and it just became snowballed, and it's been going on now for the 28th day of every month. Which I just found out is actually a good term, a good luck, two good luck numbers in Cantonese, and at different times and different dates, whatever they are. So we allow for different people from all over the world to read at different times, and so everybody can have a chance. It's not always at the same time. And I generally start off, which I'll do. We all read for about 4 minutes. It's very rare that I have to, knock on the door and say, please, if someone's going really far over. It's difficult for all of us because we all want to be fair at the same time. We all want to share the same thing. We're here to read each other's, to share our own work and to share with others. So I ask everybody to respect that, as all the hosts always do. And we try our best. So I'm going to begin with the four poems that I'm happiest with that I wrote this summer, and then I'll post a list, and maybe you can go next if you wouldn't mind, Chris, just so we know, and then I'll post the list up real fast. There's not that many of us here. This is from a collection I thought I'd put together of just photographs in black and white. Sonata en noir et blanc. Grass in surfs of open sea, shimmering within the breeze. I dreamed them violin, I dreamed them green, in ombres of shadows dancing. Grass digs deep the summer dark with infinite interlocking, roots that tick and tuck in damp soils of arpeggios. Grass whispers tremolos as stars, spikelets, dandelion bazaars. I dreamed the gypsy rose guitar playing in a field of echoes. This is a similar poem based on this hologram of a tiger that I picked up at a gift store. Animal spirit. You may believe there is much to do, but there is nothing to do but lie on sands and watch the tide. Time is a precious thing to hide, awaiting the blue-eyed tiger. Every moment needs a theme. Every daydream needs a dream. The end is self-righteously near, and beginnings take to the rear. For tomorrow, the tiger appears. Let the rain shout in the sky. Let the sunshine make you cry. Let the background fill with haze when hungry shadows come to graze. Let the blue-eyed tiger rage. I've said enough for ears to hear, witnessed all that is sincere. The years are lost to fresh surprises, to remind you of your prime, where the wild-eyed tiger thrives. And I'll just read one more. Dear Father Time, even as a child, you're a shitty dad, coming home late and smelling like blue cheese, with new life forms growing your beard, mumbling, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. I remember the role model you weren't. You never took me to the ball game of saints. You never once rewarded me with a stop, freeze the world like a pause in a video, and let me walk around in your shoes. I didn't care. I was too busy becoming ripe and sexual, taking my fair share in the marketplace, and you just, like, vanished for 60 years. Did you take a shave, run off with some haughty nymph, abandoned mother time, who got too obese and had to be carried around by four elements, earth, water, fire, and I forgot the other, because before she collapsed, drunk, with her face in a plate of spaghetti? Now you've come back, wanting to make amends, a decrepit man with arthritic wings, sitting next to me on the park bench, listening to serenades for strings, carrying an hourglass like a bongo drum after you'd visited my biological mom and dad and so many friends I loved. Still, a father is a father. And even though you suck at it, I know you were watching every move I made, so proud of your cutie Sisaboyala, pretending you don't exist. I've been spending my inheritance for more years than I can count, the heir apparent to the kingdom of time, at the roulette wheel of being in limbo, winning some, losing some, till all the money is gone. And thank you. And those are my four poems that my three one of three of my favorite poems from this last couple of months that I haven't had a chance to read on this in this place before. So thank you, Chris. Why don't you go next, and then Julian, and then Love, and then Connie. Okay, and I'll as others come in and hi D Divi, welcome.
I think you got to enable the share screen for me.
Oh dear. Oh, of course. Thank you.
We got it now and then. Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Excuse the delay. Okay, this is a picture. I'm not sure who the artist is. It's a summer solstice picture. And slideshow. Because Stonehenge, it's summer solstice. And if I could only pronounce the name, I think it's Bryn Shaley D, a Neolithic burial site in Anglesey, Wales. I press the right buttons. And down south, Harrian Bayou near Solstice by Daniel Dalglin. Finding a ring around Jupiter. The news is out, it must be true. The scientists announce it in their pleasant monotones. They have found a ring around Jupiter. Thank God for that. After all the years in darkness, like a mouse in a maze, all the empty years, the hollow crowns, the empty-headed kings shot in cellars, the endless ring of telephones, the hollow marriages, rings at the back of drawers, the empty ring of words. That ring encircles Jupiter, a crown for the king of planets, the one with the funny red nose. No matter that the magnificent head is only composed of gas, no matter that it's impossible for us to see the ring from Earth, the scientists say it's there, so it must be. No wonder they feel like kings, jovial and Jovian. They run rings around the politicians. They offer no empty promises, press no panic buttons, run no rings around the roses. All they offer is our future, nestled in a ring of hands like a white mouse. Fireflies on the moon. I'm dropped by the curb by Union Station this grey afternoon below half-mast state flags, limp in April light, lowered for the college students killed in the latest gun tragedy. 3 stars and stripes in front of the station hug their staffs. I stroll toward the staffs. Father, son, and ghost notices the flags lift, ragged red strips of bunting fluttering, mementos of the strength of yesterday's nor'easter. The white painted poles stand rusted, scarred. The gunman blew his own face off. Hard for authorities to identify the tortured writer. A presidential candidate informs us we have no plan B to exit civil war in Iraq. We fight on. Two fireflies enter a craft that flies to the moon. The astronauts open the hatch. The fireflies escape unnoticed, begin to hover in front of them. The firefly's light is captured in photographs. Lack of oxygen causes the fireflies to die. NASA announces there are aliens on the moon. And I'll end with this one, Timeless, a picture to make me smile, for Anthony May. I photographed my double Harvey Wallbanger that glows yellow with sunlight, a new bloom illumined in a massive green, a planet shining in a dark nebula. I will do whatever I need to do, whatever it takes to reach you, to make you safe in the time left as the atomic clock matures. I sip my handcrafted roasted gazpacho with extra sour cream and salsa. I lay my credentials on the credenza at the glacial erratic inscribed with the word of the Lord. As time winks and smiles, I smile back. Thanks, everyone.
Hmm. Thank you, thank you. I love that that's collage in the middle. Was wild. This that was great. Thank you, Chris. As always, great voice. Okay, yeah. So everybody, I don't mute everybody ordinarily, but unless I hear some noise from then the Hollywood square lights up and all that, I'll put something on. But feel free at the end of the poem, you want to discuss a moment or two with the poet, or put something in the chat by all means. And it's like an open table, of course. So I put a little bit of a list there, and I'll continue putting it in. So next would be Julian, and then Love, then Connie, and I see on meshes here. She Dragon, are you reading tonight?
I'm typing it up.
Oh, okay, there you go. And Aaron, are you reading tonight?
No, I'm just listening.
Very good. Love to have. Thank you for joining us. You're very important to be here.
Thank you.
And Unmesh, I suppose you're reading, so you go after Connie. Okay.
Love Infinite is asking if somebody can go ahead of her, some more people ahead of her.
No, sure. So Julian, take it away.
Explaining poetry to a 9-year-old. Poems are boring, you say. It puts me to sleep. Each of us is a poet, I say, even if you don't know it. Look at the moon. You could say the moon is a bright yellow balloon. But you say, it only reflects light, makes none of its own. The moon is not a balloon because it's airless and has no strings attached. Maybe that is why I say it is so consistent and why it will outlast humanity. It influences, but not in the way influencers do. It knows when to shine and when to disappear, and it's just near enough to affect us, but not too close to spin us out of orbit. So too poetry. But the moon has a dark side, you say, which it never shows us. Yeah, I say we all have a dark side. And most people don't care to see it. It's only when it's on full display that we lose it. Some of us may empathize when you show it. Most of us may turn away. Dark sides matter, but it's your own private business, like the moon. Keep it to yourself. I get you, you say. But you write a lot of sad stuff. I do, I say. The sad stuff may come from my dark side, but it's art. And all art is poetry, and all poetry is a means to connect to our humanity, to life, to reflect the light in all of us. So the moon, you say, is a lot like us? Yes, I say. I love the moon, you say. I love the moon too, I say. There, did you see what we just did? We, you and me, just wrote a poem and it didn't put us to sleep and it wasn't boring. Now go write another. Can it be about the sun, you ask? Yes, I beam. That's a good place to start. Pickle. There was always a jar that bested you. You'd call upon me, my one true skill, grip, twist, cluck, and it opens. For tougher lids, a splash of hot water on the rim helps. Warmth expands metal, loosens things. You can still count on me to get us out of any pickle. Things with hearts. The epigraph says the heart has its own little brain with 40,000 neurons and appears to receive this intuitive information approximately 1.5 seconds before the brain. Maybe, hold on. It's all, oops. Oops. Do that again. Maybe we're just things with hearts. Our bodies only need some food and farts. And every Christmas, some of Mama's pineapple tarts. Our mind is mindless. It's only there to get its dopamine fix. An addiction to something, anything, alcohol, drugs, work. Your ego will do the trick. We are just things with hearts. Ours start beating in mother's safe wombs in our first month of conception, then just stops in a breathless, moonless swoon. In between, we love, we live, we love, we try, we grow, we dream, we fail, we cry. It's all heart. You do all that wholeheartedly, whether you want to or not. It's never half-heartedly. It's only your mind and body that fools you into thinking it so. Hearts go all in. Minds tend to walk away, lose it, easily forget. Bodies are just sponges that need squeezing now and then. In souls, they are for angels. And immortality, it's only for the gods. We are just human things with hearts that end the way they start. Like a kite that lifts off, takes flight with its strings attached, then eventually snaps and flits away. The air gives it a wide berth, knowing it will eventually drift back down to earth, land in soft meadows or waters that are warm but shallow. Things with hearts lose altitude and attitude, staying up for as long as we can with only the wind beneath us and a lone star as our guide until gravity wraps her arms around us, takes us in her bosom, and brings us home. And the last one is called Moon Rising. Thank you for having me. 12 men stepped on you, bounced around a bit, planted some flags, stole some rocks, then left you alone for 51 years. In the interim, you pulled away the length of an average basketballer, an inch and a half yearly, a quiet escape perhaps. Backstepping for the three-pointer, a slow, imperceptible receding into the abyss of space. Until one night we looked up and you were gone. No reality TV reveal moment, no walk of shame, no boardroom firing, no golden buzzer, no sinking spinning chairs, no early cowl X mid-performance, only a stilling of the oceans, no longer lapping shores or hearts in waves. Our earthbound narcissism wobbling in shame, reducing you to a mere selfie bomber. The climate change chaos we ignited, now an explosive, lunarless reality. You grew tired of all the odes, the songs, the poems, the art, pin-cushioning your wrinkled visage, framing you on walls, strong-arming your likeness in musty galleries. So many merciless, misogynistic metaphors, strident, sterile similes, lock and cock cliches like darts, missing targets, a bullseye for dodgy, broken hearts. You left us because you'd had enough. I needed to go clear your headspace, so to speak. Social distancing against a virulent human race, putting necessary boundaries on the universe's growing menace, those ungrateful billionaires and their outsized egos. Turning your face, neither gracefully nor gently, to the stars, your dark side, mooning us forever. You always were a badass. We just never knew it. Thank you.
Oh, wow, there's a lot there. And so fortunately, I'm recording this, of course, and I put it on YouTube under Planet Poetry 28 for the month, and we can all enjoy it again and again because there's too much there to take it in as one shot. It was very good. Thank you very much. Connie, are you all set? Good. You're on mute. And after Connie, who's ready to go? Love, are you ready? Or DV or LNK? Welcome to the house or Unmesh. If you're ready, we'll call on you right away.
Oh, thank you. I just have one poem.
Oh,
Summer thistles. The backyard garden calls me to seek refuge from computers. It's time to weed thistles hiding in the kale and those snaking through my thoughts. I walk among the beds, stretch arms and fingers, releasing shoulders tense from keyboard hunches, then return to desk and screen. As new thoughts abound, I try to capture words that resonate and last.
yeah, I'll leave it there a second. This is your only poem. Yes. Very nice, very lovely. Thank you. I look forward to reading it again. A good poem keeps you on the page, not flipping the page. That's wonderful. Thank you, Connie. D, are you? Is DV? Are you ready? You're in the waiting room. Okay. And then a love, and then Unmesh, and then LKN, and then whoever else is ready to read will just tell me so. I think D might be having some problem with connectivity. Are you there? You got you. Okay, good. Hi.
Sorry, I was on my phone and trying to transfer to my computer. Yeah, right.
Are you comfortable with this, with sharing your poem?
Yeah,
Great.
I saw that everybody was, so I was trying to get it ready.
No, I mean putting it on the share screen so we can read with you.
Yeah.
Okay, make it so. There you go.
Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So the first one I want to do is animals of design. And here we go again as animals of design, remembered by Earth itself. And here we go again and we become sick animals playing pretend by Earth itself. Yet we want more, wanting to become alive, though trying to sleep tonight by Earth itself. Wanting and waiting for more. The chemicals come down and are excused by Earth itself. Never satisfied by promotion, but animals of design that become trampled by the become of earthy itself. And here we go again, seeking new things, but destroying yet Earth comes back not satisfied. And here we go again, becoming cannibals to nature, yet afraid of morality by the design of earthy itself. But we are waiting to say goodbye to the past and embrace what the earth has for itself. Yet we can't escape what this godless design of animals we've become dictates the destruction of our kin, the earth has its design. We could hush, and the world could be spared if we sleep tonight by earth itself. And here we go again, running and hiding like animals inside, killing all but chemicals inside. Take it easy and know that nothing is heavy to admit sins of the sins before the great flood of Noah. Yet please don't take a bite of our Mother Nature Or she sees the sun radiating and feels the chemicals heavy on her atmosphere. Why can't we understand the denial of the animal destruction of what humanity creates? But remember the vengeance of counting. What are we waiting for? Therefore, communicate, don't fight the parts, and accept the mess we made. We can't sleep tonight, but remember that we are waiting and want and hope for forgiveness from the earth itself. We need to be more than friends and children at the bottom of life, and we are animals designed but can't play pretend because we can't go out alive. Heal the earth's heart tonight and stop waiting for something to avenge when it needs to be to stand up for what was done. You are killing Mother Nature by the creature of design that you are, yet the child grew and ate its mother alive. The world can't be hush hush, but when it's never quiet, so listen with your eyes and open to create something new. Don't linger on falsehoods and chemicals torturing you to make you hungry, yet Earth slowly kills you itself. And here we go wanting some more, but it's animals of design fighting against when one should embrace the future of Earth itself. And here we go again, knowing Mother Nature is our truth. We are never wanting and waiting for the more. Therefore, we are accepted by animals designed by Earth itself to become new beings. And then I was gonna read just two, so shaking hands with never. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Shaking hands with never. Never bend in a will, get in deep and make it hurt. Never bend in ambition for shaking hands with you never gets you nowhere. Never bend in position for your righteousness is a fire that can't bury. Never take, you can't give back. The secrets bring chaos, or it gets you in deeper. Beware of evil that knocks on your door when those corrupted hands want more than you can give. Beware of nightmares, for they come true, but toil and trouble with something wicked comes. Beware of pretenses that linger to control you, but remember, shaking hands with is not you. Better run when you see the hours are behind with those like-minded or after you. Better run when you see hands come out to you, but feel heaven shaking hands with you, but never say never. Just because you look like a good person doesn't mean you can't create harm and the viper bites back. Just because you look like a reasonable human doesn't mean you can't bring them nightmares when they think you're so sweet to corrupt. I don't mind the chaos after all. I wouldn't shake hands with never because I can do the things that hurt. I'm the evil's worst nightmare, yet secrets bring truth. For I'm double toil and trouble as something wicked comes their way. I'm evil's worst nightmare, yet I see their falsehoods want a harbinger to evict them, but I'm a warrior for righteousness. Never say never, for I dig in deep and come for those who don't see the truth, for I wouldn't shake hands with never in time.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing those necessary rages of what's going on, of course.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to find something that was,
That's fine.
did I already
Yes.
stop the share? Okay, good.
Yeah. No, you expressed yourself very clearly, and the message came through was very much to all of us. And thank you. Where are you from? Where are you reading from?
I'm reading from California.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
near Sacramento.
Indeed. Welcome. I'm in Michigan right now, so we're all over the place. Love, are you ready to read?
I'm sorry, can someone still go ahead of me? I'm sorry, Mark. I'm still
Unmesh,
just trying to type these
Unmesh,
things up.
sure. Unmesh, we may know the host of
Yes,
Unmesh Life, as you see behind him.
yes, a
The
mesh.
one of the great Zoom open mics that was this morning, and Friday mornings as it is in Eastern Time. And Unmesh is one of the most amazing, super duper talented poets I know. Hi, Unmesh.
Hello.
from far away, from all the way in India, from where I
Thank
am.
thank you. Thanks a lot, Mark. It's amazing to be here. Here we go. Let me share the screen. Oh, where did it go? Let's see. Just give me a second. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, here we go. Living dead I was, wandering directionless when you were not with me. You infused life in me. You told me that I was alive and breathing, touching me lovingly, caringly, worried about my heartbeats and heavy breathing, always concerned about me because you are family. Oh, those stress levels, which you tell me even when laughing friends surround me, making me aware that stress and strain are part of life. You just cannot run away from it. Your beautiful face. You are in so much in love with me. You change yourself as per my wish. You know, I like change. People in my life have changed me brutally like forest without trees beyond recognition. You spoil me like millionaire's dog because you are family. When I am lonely, you cheer me up. With music, you're fantastic. You wake me up in the morning, reminds me of the open mic which I need to attend, birthdays which I want to skip. How lucky I am that you are family. You are my life partner. You are with me when I am rappelling down the mountains. You are with me when I am bungee jumping. In fact, you swim with me in the river and sea. You love me. Your love for me is not fickle like weather. You are rock solid. You are my family. Riding with me on my bike, you show me directions. You are never wrong. You are aware of every nook and corner, every turn and return, just to help me to reach my destination, which sometimes I forget. You know, I am a traveler without a destination. You push me towards the ultimate goal of my life, which is not known even to me. You are a family. You are a beauty. You are smart. You are tough. You are my life. You are more precious than lifeless diamonds. I am under your watch. You are my water resistance, shockproof, shining new smartwatch. You are my new smartwatch. Don't be surprised. I did pay a heavy price for you. Of course, it was an Amazon great sale, whatever it is. You are a family. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
What an ending. Thank you, Unmesh. There's, thank you. That's fun. I mean, God, there's a lot of deep, funny satire in that poem, Unmesh, really. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, okay. Uh, while still waiting for love, Lacan, do you want to go and welcome to the room, Walter? I have your poems. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Mark. Wait, I'll turn on my camera. Hello.
Oh,
Good morning. Magandang umaga, everyone. I am Lacan, and I'm from the Poetry Global Network. And I'm still thinking which poems to share today. But you know, we'll go with yeah, let's go with that. I was thinking of the title of the poem is When Peter Flies Off. 33 looks like spooning the memory of me to my pillow. I was 5
pressing my body into it, close enough to choke my screams of how growing up happens when Peter is killed by his mother, leaving our family for her Wendy. And I thought I was her light, her golden boy, now adulterated of the adulting of selfishness. Adultery makes a ruin out of a son. I didn't know what hell was, but summer was burning on my eyes. March marched her exit, and tears are falling stories like a suicide on the pages of cotton stuck on my face. I couldn't face the cadaver of youth buried inside my body. The hook, she didn't even say goodbye. Stabbed at the turn of a knob, she didn't know I was awake. I've been in a wake of tick-tock, tucked in a crack on dilating questions. Why? I'm growing up as a left behind. When your mother leaves you, who can still say, but the sheet of abandonment, how easy it was for her to let go. The next to leave is Peter, as ashes of innocence flail like pixie dust, dusted away on the wailing that my begging makes, on the burnt childhood lying cold. There is no Tinkerbell to catch my age. There's just a lost boy between 35 Celsius and the 8 hours of my lament. Meant Neverland fell on March 25th on a tombstone of dying fairy tales. Many years have passed. I've turned silver, wrinkled by time. Yet I still read the tears in my sleep, knowing once upon a time, my Peter, my bright and sweet Peter Pan, panned down to Everland of the past, and people like me are still crying. Still, ever alone, never whole, on our bed of grief, wishing Peter would fly again. How about you, poets in this room? How did your Peter Pan die? Thank you. Huh. Look at that. Okay, I didn't know why that was my first poem, but it called me. So, content warning for people who love dictators. The title is called Text Isle. Your might is tight on the crotch of a government that we got by believing it's fashionable to be blind, sided with an election to erect the organs of society we elected, a sigh of ill-fitted vestiges to revise on how we measure sacrifice. To breathe your convenience of selling the offices we paid for, and we're still the ones in debt. How badly did we bet to forget evil and live are alive? Even if we reverse each fabric, you still tatter each inch of our banter and opinion. Your wealth's contraction is the only constitution we are cramped to follow below our determination to demonstrate the demon straight from our viral disillusionment. It'll get better. To confine that expression closer to your clenched fists is how you zip up nationhood, suffocating the freedom long suppressed from each press you close up to fold the columns of our speech. To be made mute is a torture worse than all the screams you hide from each orgasm of dynasty. You tailor fit in our history. It strangles our thighs, not able to run for our right to outlast your sprints. Democracy is a marathon of being naked to truth, strapped, locked, trapped in the trappings of stripping what independence is left to not know nothing changed. We're free prisoners, walking like bills that boxes the seams of what seems somebody is like liberty, especially it's from your family. I know your mother can curate a couture second-rate mimicry of a sheath-like kill shots to the groin of sovereignty. Wait, isn't she 93? And all started when we were you after 50. Thank you. Maraming salamat. And that is, of course, to the great dynasty that rules our country right now, the Philippines. So, thank you so much, everyone.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Wow. What a two different poems from Peter Pan to the state of the world in a way. The whole world seems to be going through this phase like it did in the 20s and the 30s when it switched over to fascism. Most of the countries in Europe and South America, all of a sudden, it's just like a craze. And here we are 100 years later doing the same thing around the world. It's happening in everywhere. It's just a sad reaction. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we never
Hegel.
learn.
Yes, we never learn.
Thank
So
you.
I have four people left. I have Walter and Lynette and Love, and if anyone and also She Dragon. So I can do Walter if you guys are still wanting to spend a little extra time preparing yourselves. I have Walter's ready, and so we'll make it so. Walter, welcome back. It's been a while, and excited to hear
All
your
right,
poem. Sure.
here we go. This one is called We Called Her Aunt Laura. Let's go into it again, but slowly this time. No skipping stone mind, no grab and go observer, fevering in front of a talking light box. Try the window view again, with the curtains parted and the volume down low, or the whole sound system switched off. Observe how quietly memory arises, a woman from another time in the brightly lit Delft blue and yellow tulip yellow kitchen of a farmhouse from another age. She deftly prepares a pear with a paring knife in what you would much later come to imagine as a lost Vermeer. How, as she smiles, serves and talks, her teeth and the ripe hair and the bright knife blade perfectly inhabit the light, unquestionably at home there. Later in life, decades after such a modest occasion has most likely abandoned any hope of recovery, an unexpected entelechy delivers it to the space between remembrance and the universe, an area only detectable with heartbeats.
Hmm.
Okay, and then the second one and last one is Dispersals of Smoke. I think we've all had our little recent experiences of smoke to talk about from Canada or whoever else is on fire. Sprawling caravans of smoke from forest fires hundreds of miles away wander timidly through our neighborhoods, littering the sky with pale yellow notices. Fire sent us. We have nowhere else to go. Not trying to be a burden, silent and polite, discreetly asking trees for directions to the sea, where they can quietly empty themselves of themselves as part of their ancient ritual of disappearance. Sad-eyed, unwanted clouds like the displaced congregations of the Church of the Ordinary, forced to flee burning homelands by bestial murderers from the hell next door. There is little we can do for smoke beyond spinning traces of its presence into the immense web of remembering and mapping the faint layers of shadow that testify to the extent of its dispersal. The human help desk is sagging under the weight of overdue notices from the future. All the countdown clocks are ticking. Thank you.
Hmm. Oh, oh, we found some great metaphors in there for this dilemma we're in. Indeed. Thank you, Walter. Yeah, a lot of that's coming out of all of us poets. We have to, whether it means anything or whether it changes the world or not. We have no choice. It's in our DNA.
It comes with the territory.
Comes with the territory. Okay. Well, are any of the three of readers who haven't read ready to read? Yes, Lynette,
Hi, I'm ready.
go ahead. Hi, Lynette. Where are you from?
Hi. I'm from the Virgin Islands.
Oh, that's right. Before. Hi. That's wonderful. Thank you for joining.
Yes, I'm going to play with this and see if we can make this work tonight. So I'm going to try and share the screen. Okay, this is easy. Share.
Yep. And you're like millennial. It comes like this to you.
So this poem is actually called Michael. Well, no, I don't want to do this poem first. Sorry. Well, actually, it's already up, so I'll do it and then I'll pull up the next one. It's
Sure.
called A Michael Jackson Story. He said, Billie Jean is not my lover, but Annie was upset. No matter how he asked, Annie, are you okay? She was not having it. He said, the kid is not my son. People always want to be starting something, but all she said was, remember the time. And he knew she was fed up. He tried to be a thriller, but she only believed what she saw in black and white. He kept pleading, I just can't stop loving you. I'll be there. It's just human nature. Those other people, they don't care about us. But this pretty young thing only wanted to scream. She said, look at the man in the mirror. You'll see a smooth criminal. The way you make me feel is dangerous. I want to rock with you, but you better leave me alone or there will be blood on the dance floor. You are bad because at night you are not alone. I remember when love never felt so good. And when I would say, don't stop till you get enough. But now I need someone to heal the world that I live in. So that's my first piece. And then, okay, I think I had to stop share and then share again. I didn't think it through properly when I set my thing. Okay,
Okay.
so now the
No problem.
second piece. Okay, this one is called Playing with Words. I went searching for peace, but it left me in pieces. Shreds, shards, slivers, like it was a tickle in my liver, and my heart started to quiver. I knew I want to be a cheerful giver, living my best life as upfront, fun, and audacious, in my mind so spacious, and with nature so gracious. But I shed tears, I live in fear, and as the sun shines, I stare directly into it. It's no blitz and no grits and no stitch. I twitch on this journey and I can't switch off the songs of the flowers swaying because no one listens to what I'm saying. And you know I'm not playing, but yet I am playing with words. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. What a nice combination of stage and page poetry you offer. That was wonderful. And I really love the Michael Jackson one. I kind of knew all those songs. We all grew up with it. I was roller skating like a nut during that period. And I loved every song. Thank you so much for sharing both of those poems. They were really nice. Great. And love, are we ready?
Yeah.
Make it so.
I guess so.
We recently met. I've been seeing Love around. I believe she's going to be featured next week on David Serwaz's open mic, which is a wonderful event. And
Wow.
look forward to that too.
Mm. Sorry,
There you are.
I'll get like a little drink of water. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. So this is, yeah, we'll call this set All Is Well. The first poem is called All Is Well. All is well. I stand 5'2" at the bottom of a well where the water is 9 feet deep. All is well, I tell myself, all is well. I cannot swim, but I am submerged in an ocean and the waves pull me under and I am still breathing. All is well, I sing from the Pacific. All is well. I sit in a pool of boiling lava inside a volcano. My skin is in pieces from burning and peeling. All is well. I scream above the magma. All is well. I lie down in fetal position under quicksand and the mud is in my lungs, my nose, my head. All is well. I choke out from the thickness. All is well. I run through a desert with no supplies. I have no water and my throat is beyond dry. All is well. I rasp beyond the drought. All is well. I am in a boat of broken dreams in the middle of a flood. I have no paddle. I have no sail. I only have hope and tears. All is well. I cry out through the thunder. All is well. This next piece is called I Was So Sad. I was so sad. Things didn't go my way. I was so mad that I was sad. I let it go, surrendered all my expectations away. It floated like a dandelion in the wind. I was so sad. I didn't wake up rich again, couldn't buy flowers for all my friends. I was so mad when I remembered I don't have any friends. I just let go of all my resentments again. I was so sad I can't order DoorDash. I was so mad that I was sad. I was so mad that I can't afford groceries. Whatever will I eat, sleep in bed? I was so sad that God hadn't changed my reality. I woke up in the same place I was before. I was so mad that I couldn't fly away to see the place I was in my dreams, the place that I had once lived before. This last poem is called Maybe I'll Enjoy My Sorrow. Woke up resentful another day. I manifested something last night that didn't manifest yet. I woke up disappointed yet another day. I believed in the mental seeds I sowed with all my heart. Now my heart is broken. Now my heart is fixed. I believe again. I'll be hopeful again. I'll open myself up to be let down again. I'll show my skin to be cut again. Cut me, life. You always do. Thank you. I went to the gym to work out and left with a scar on the crack of my ass. No, really, just at the top. That was my reward for trying to take care of myself. Beautiful ab lines and butt cuts. I went to the gym hoping the anxiety would pour out of my pores in the form of sweat. Maybe then I could be perfect when I present my poetry. I hate to sweat. And here I go, sweating again. Maybe if I sweat in the gym, I won't sweat here. I thought it didn't work. It never works. I'm still depressed. I can't afford any help, not the kind I want. I made an appointment and they canceled the day of it. These types of things depress me. So disappointing. I can't buy food again. How disappointing. I'll try and visit a food bank next week. Try and sell my ebook so I can buy sustenance no one will take. So I'll make the things stretch this week until something happens. Why can I make something happen? If I believe hard enough, isn't it supposed to happen? Isn't that magic? Apparently, I'm still vain. Apparently, I'm still in pain. Apparently, I'm still grieving. I'm throwing up without heaving. I'm sick and I don't care anymore. I don't care to fix myself, and I don't care who wants me fixed. Maybe y'all love it here. It's still so beautiful. My poverty is still so abundant. I am cornered and still so infinite. I have nothing but a Mac computer. My ex-boyfriend, a non-Black Asian man, said the N-word while we sung together. I trusted him. I loved him, and he still slipped in loving me. He was a psychiatrist, and he still couldn't fix me. He was on medications I won't try to pronounce, taking clients. But there's supposedly something wrong with me. True. My horror show is so prosperous. It sells, it sells, it sells. It's entertaining. Maybe I'll enjoy my sorrow. Thank you.
Mm. 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 Yeah, loneliness is such a big theme today. It's amazing. We're also separated from each other. Yeah, I know.
Well, I would say if it's the theme, then we're actually so connected.
Indeed. Here we're connected. I'm also 5'2". We're connected. Wonderful. Thank you for
I
that
love that.
sharing.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, we have like one last poet for tonight, and that would be yourself, She-Dragon. Hi, when you're on mute and
Oh,
unmute
sorry.
yourself.
Hi. Hi,
Hi,
Mark.
you're sideways like.
Oh, hold on. Let me see.
There you are.
Sorry.
Hi.
Okay. Whoops.
Where
Okay.
are you? Where are you calling from? Or
Today I'm in Portland, Oregon.
oh, wonderful. Yeah, city I've been to. Gee,
Okay.
sure.
So you have the poem, or because I
Did
don't
you
have a.
did you send it to me?
Yes, I did.
Okay, give me all 1 second. I didn't realize.
Okay. If you have trouble, I can try doing it on my phone.
I shouldn't have it. Yeah.
Okay.
Open up the Outlook.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
I did. Okay. There it go. Just came in. Okay. Oh, I
Okay.
see. You have it. You have 3 different poems on 3 different sites. So I'll
Right.
do one at a time. That's all. Okay. Here's
Okay.
the first. Here's the first one. Hold on, please. Got it.
Okay.
Um, get back to the room. Okay. So this will take just a couple of extra seconds because I'll have to do one at a time. But here you go.
Okay. All right. I can't tell which one this is.
This is After Home.
Okay. After Home by Warson Shire. I still remember that day. It is etched in my memory. TV on as background noise. I work on our annual literary magazine. 21 Jump Street comes on. I look because my cousin tells everyone Dustin Wing is her cousin. And it starts with a scene on a beach, dark of night, people, children, wading out to an already full boat. Then staccato bursts of machine gun fire, and a body goes down, and then another. I cry, I bawl, I can't stop. This is what it must have been like. Stories of mothers too hungry to make any milk, choosing to die with their babies in their arms rather than leaving them behind. And I cry shuddering breaths until there are no tears left. That evening at dinner, I ask all my friends their escape stories. These people I've known for many years, we've never talked about this with anyone, to anyone. Antom was in a boat and the men in front and behind him were shot dead. I don't tell them my story, too ashamed. They were all in their teens and 20s. I had just turned 9 when we left, believing I was so wise until years later, I learned in high school, we didn't leave because a war was starting, but that had ended and we had lost. Running for our lives, I was permitted one small suitcase and couldn't take my dolls or colored pencils. My aunt's husband was on the last bus, jumped off because he couldn't leave his mother behind, instead leaving his wife and daughter to navigate a strange land on their own. Running for our lives, refugee camps, Tang as candy, my first American meal in the back of a C-130, Kentucky Fried Chicken, complete with spork. It's still a favorite today. But we didn't run. We sat and waited and waited and waited, left by plane and arrived by plane. The memories have faded, but the guilt remains. Survivor's guilt, still, all these years later.
Take a second just after that poem, of course.
I just want to say that's the third time I have read that poem, and I thought it would get easier. It doesn't.
I mean, it's unfortunate. We see it all the time in so many different situations. Right now, I'm in Chicago, where you have a situation with Ukrainians here, of course, refugees and all that. And it's yeah, there is that kind of survivor's guilt. It's a real thing. Here's your second poem, After Praise Song for Ants.
Okay. The French compared us to ants, seeing us as nothing but laborers to be trampled on, used, killed. They frightened us into submission by putting the heads of province chiefs on stakes planted in rice bushels. They took our lands, our resources, our women and men, but also gave us useful things like baguettes, carrots, chocolate, and coffee. But they wouldn't give us freedom. None of them would give us freedom because the resources were too rich. 1,000 years under Chinese rule, 100 years of French colonization, 20 years of brother fighting brother, rivers of tears, rivers of blood. Napalm, Agent Orange, flood, war, famine, poverty, AIDS introduced by foreign tourists to women struggling to feed their families. The devastation continues. Now we're scattered to the four winds, forming new colonies in strange lands, resilient, thriving, and who doesn't know of banh mi, pho, and cafe chouda? So I guess we are like ants, and you cannot exterminate us.
Wow. Well, I have one more for you, yes.
This one is short.
That's okay. Yes, I see. Okay. My pain is a peach.
My pain is a peach, succulent, beckoning, silken to the touch, shades of red, yellow, orange, and blushing pink, sticky juiciness sheathing my fingers. The ripeness melts in my mouth, and I savor every morsel, though I am already so full. I am waiting to develop an allergy so as to never have to taste it again. That was it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I
Wow.
love the last two so much. Every single one was amazing, but those last two were really
That
like
was amazing.
piercing.
Thank you.
A little, I mean, here we've been very influenced by Ocean Vuong, you know, had also very similar stories and reignited the pain that went through. And I also found it amazingly fascinating how in World War II, I mean, the Germans were our worst enemies in America, and now we're best of friends. And here we are in Vietnam after all that went on. All of a sudden, we're the biggest allies together, and all supposedly, and all this stuff. It's like it's like the memory of these horror stories. How is it they just disappear? It's amazing how humanity has a very short memory bank, it seems. But
That's
anyway,
why we keep continuing war after war.
it's amazing. Well, it's so sad. Well, anyway, to leave on a more positive note, I think today's poetry was spectacular from all of our poets who came today and shared poetry with us. And thank you so much. This will be on YouTube, of course, and we can always see it again as I do because it's just so good. And tomorrow morning or tonight, depending on where you are, is the Singapore Poetry Festival, as Lacan has put on his screen. And there's going to be a lot of great readers there. It's the largest such festival in Asia in the year, and I think it's going to be great. I'll be reading, Lacan will be reading, and a bunch of us from the Academy, and maybe you all can join in. And if not, thank you so much, and come again to Planet Poetry 28. I'll announce it as I have been doing. And I think it's just a spectacular event, and I'm just so humbled to have you all here share with me. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Question. Can you post the link for Lacan for the Poetry Festival tomorrow?
Lacan, can you quickly post the link on? I think you probably do it faster than I.
Okay, sure. Give me a moment.
Sure.
Thank you for holding the space, Mark, and thank you for inviting me. It's been really wonderful, especially to see, or that you know, really enforce the share screen. It definitely allows you to connect with the pieces in a different
Yeah,
way. Thank you.
I think it's the only such event on Zoom where people are kind of requested to do it that way, and it is a little it's a little different of a twist. I'm sure it helps us engage in a kind of way. If you get lost or distracted, you can find your way back into the poem, and all that, and we can just I think it's nice to hear and see the poem. You can see the process of the writing within the poem, within the poet, as you see the way they write. And they're all so different. Some of you are writing like is centering the lines. Some are using these types of enjambments. Some are the rhymes are there, and just wonderful to see and all that. So copy that down and put that around, and we'll see you soon, I hope. And if you want to get in touch with me, and if you're not on the mailing list, for heaven's sakes, please get in touch with me at mark@poetwithguitar.com, and I'll make sure that you keep hearing about all of our great activities.
Okay, so just to
One
be
other
sure,
thing.
I'm so sorry, but just to be sure, it says July 30th, but you're saying it's today or like
Well,
tomorrow?
it's actually for me Eastern time. For us, it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay,
In Eastern time.
so tomorrow.
That's
9 o'clock.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, but it's actually nighttime in Singapore. And
Okay, just
like
making sure that I wasn't gonna show up on like July 30th and completely miss it.
Right.
And the other
you.
thing,
Okay.
the YouTube, your YouTube link.